Let's see. Got to refresh you. So it works. Appears we're live. Alright. I wonder if... okay, it's been a patch recently, just a small balance change it seems. Alright, so we're going to be playing this particular sector. Now, my computer got rebooted, so I don't have my things open anymore. Yes, please do recover my things. Right, so we're looking at a hospitable sector with beautiful sights. So I can find it. Alright, so let's show you. Let's have a look at this. Is it? It looks fine. Okay, good. I'm going to accept this, of course, randomly roll again. So this time we've got the Euphorians, that's the wrong thing, the Bakar, and the Vittori, I believe. Yeah, the Vittori. Alright. With us our perks, we've got researchers and well prepared. So we don't really have any perks that necessarily give us any fixed bonuses. Well, we have some starting bonuses, but we don't have any bonuses that apply throughout the run. Researchers will give us the ability to research in a late game tech. Interestingly, Euphorians now has both hyperdrive and teleporters. We're playing on the new patch, so teleporters are not as good as they used to be. I think the teleporter nerf was kind of justified. I also think that making the what's it called? Monoliths capped at 1% per planet was a reasonable idea. I'm still a bit ashamed of the fact that the monoliths now are probably not going to be featured in any runs whatsoever, because, well, just gaining 1% per connection is probably insufficient for them to be considered. Right, I would say something like Ascension Gates is technically going to be superior, but even Ascension Gates suffers a bit from the fact that you have to spend so much time to build them now. Of course, the thing that made them degenerate was that you could just build one and connect one to your teleporters, and then suddenly you're in range of every planet. If the teleporters were still the same, then I would imagine that... let's just start, by the way. I would imagine that monoliths would still be good in that particular setup. Though right now I fail to consider how they could be better than something like, say, nanites or time dilation or starbirth even, for that matter. Or ascension, right? Although we don't have monoliths available, so we don't have to consider them. But looking at the late game text is a good idea at the very start to see, you know, do we want to do heavy science or not? Well, there are some decent options for, you know, we have all the different movement options, so that's also already quite nice. You also have, as an alternative, matter transposition. There are energy techs available, 2 of them in fact. 3 actually, so something with energy could be done. We just don't have any tech things that, you know, give us, say, legendary planets, right? Euphorians have some things that would allow you to do that. So you don't really have anything that could give us an excess. With regards to goods, we have enlightenment, if so desired. It is not in competition with any other project, so that makes it a desirable thing to do, perhaps. Although costly, right? Enlightenment is quite costly because you do get fewer... right, your colonies become less good at generating money because they're sending fewer things in and out. So perhaps solving this problem with energy instead would be advisable. There's gene adjustment as well as geoharvesting, as well as xenotourism, giving us quite a few money options in the early game, as well as quantum sense is available. The researcher's bonus could be used to either unlock multiple early game techs, or to go for some late game tech 1 or 2 times early, which replicating nanites is a good candidate actually. If we could get that early, we could save quite a bit of time over the course of the run. I think that's probably what we want to use researchers on. Since it's from Bakar, we should focus on Bakar missions, which means probably is minimizing my scouting in the first year. Right? This is why looking at the text early game is so nice, because you can... Whoa! I nearly accidentally threw something out there. A probe, that is, right? So yeah, we want to do it with a minimum of scans. So I would prefer a scan that just had the most possible stuff in it, rather than a scan that optimizes the amount of scans I would have to do in total because of this. Can we get all of these? No, we cannot. 5 is good enough though. I think that's the best I've seen so far, and the best that's even possible. So do we have some kind of setup of planets that is stable and that will work? Well, kind of, yes. Right, jungle farm, Earth-like colony, right? Am I okay with this setup? Potentially, right? It kind of depends on whether or not we have a plan to make some of these successful. Because looking at this desert over here, right, we have available to us solar superconductors. So if I wanted solar superconductors here, right, I might want to do something like this instead. Which would be a two-way trade, right, to start off with. And what is the likelihood we'll find some way of making food? Fairly likely, right? This is one option. The other option would be a Gaia world into some kind of farm down here. I actually think that this is the preferred solution, actually, over the other alternatives. I'm just not sure how to farm. Would I do this blindly? Yes, right, because we would be able to reveal more stuff down here, and we would probably be able to give this thing food. Actually, we're certain to be able to give this thing food. We could use the Earth-like if so necessary. The game's a bit slow. It's a bit laggy. Should upgrade my machine, perhaps, right? Somewhere. Oh, it's looking fine now. Alright, so... yeah, see? I would have to take a look at things. For now... let's... I mean, I could potentially do this. I think it's too risky, perhaps, right? It would force me to get food from somewhere else. It is a very good one, right? Because we would get water into this world, and we would also use up a human. And the biomatter will probably be useful for some kind of farm, I would imagine. I'm still going to have a look, though. Yes, as I feared. This is not quite the correct solution. However, we have a different solution that could apply here, which would involve this, right? In fact, I think this is very much a good solution. It has the ore available. It even has biomatter available if you want to, depending on, you know, whether or not we can find an additional colony down here. I'll go with this option. It's only 1 year to place this down, so let's do so and get our tasks. Increase ore production by 5 units. Well, we have the opportunity to make some ore down here, and I said I wanted Bakar missions, so we'll do so. Increase goods by 2 units. Probably going to be happening before we gain any science output whatsoever. Just because of the nature of tough, right? Sure, right, we have extra starting money, but should I be using that to rush science? I mean, we could, right? I think we'll postpone, actually, and do some scanning. If there's a really good opportunity to get science, we might go for early science, given that we've got extra starting cash. And would you look at that? We have an opportunity to do both ore and science at the very beginning. So I think we should do so. We'll do ore and science output. They complement each other nicely. So first off, let's start by giving you some food, right? That's sort of a great idea to start off with. Then what we're going to do... I mean, I could also have done goods, right? Because we can make goods here as well, but I think this is fine. We'll go ahead and make some ore, right? It might be a better idea not to cut this off, because we could do this, for example, and we could maybe do that even. But for now, we'll go ahead and make some ore. That's 2 ore, right? To start off with. Now, I might want to make some microchips out of this ore. And then send those microchips to the left here. which we'd be able to make another colony with. Or alternatively, right, I might want to make them microchips up here. Or we could make a colony in here even, right, and make the other ore there. Either way, right, we could greedily try to mine. In which case we'll still end up with about 100 money. But we will not be able to do so before the start of next year in any scenario, so is it an advisable thing to do? I don't know. It's also a bit of a shame that we can't really tell which colony we might want, right? In any case, I think we might go for the research first solutions. Still, these kind of scouts here are kind of a waste of time, is the problem. We could gamble on this planet, sort of, kind of gamble. I mean, it's not a real gamble because we already have all of the resources it would possibly need available to us. So this would be a good idea then, right? Yeah, kind of. We kind of want to get to next year, right? I would love to see another chip world up here, but maybe we won't get it. Oh, we have one all the way down, all the way here. That's actually nice. So we could make this a goods facility. That's actually really good. All right, so let's go ahead and build that additional ore. And now we'll go ahead and build a laboratory. Now, ideally we position it in such a way that we might be able to get ore from even more sources, potentially. Right. Especially the forebear ruin over here would be great to get ore from. For now, though, we'll just send in 4 different things. Right, getting our science mission complete. And now... yes, the problem with it actually is that if I do so, I will cut off the ability to get goods here, which so I shouldn't send in this planet at all. I should just satisfy myself with 3 science instead of 4. With the reason being, of course, that we can do something like this to make some goods and to make you successful. Alternatively, we can not make goods first, and we can start making some water or some other things for some of this ore to become successful. But if we do, actually we can. I can make some chips here, which will require... we would have to make food up here. Hopefully we'll be able to get a robot for it. I don't know. That's a problem, isn't it? And that is the problem. If I do this, I'm cutting off the ability to get food from the Arctic, which I might want to do. If only because of the reason that it'll be difficult to connect things if I try to do it in any other way. So chips down here are great. Like a Gaia world would be awesome as well, right? Maybe here for water, maybe even here for water. I could also do this connection, of course, but that would cut you off as well. Like, I would like to do goods both ways. That seemed to me to be like the most ideal such solution to any problem here. I would like to do a robot in here, and then another ore in there, of course. But ideally we do this in such a way that A, you know, we are efficient with our time, and B, we don't run out of money, and C, we somehow get a second ore. Now, I'm not sure how to do all these requirements yet. So yeah, this is a thing we could do. But the problem is there's lack of water down here, right? I mean, we could make some bots here, right? And later on maybe send them in with some kind of tech that says humans as robots, though we don't have those. We might unlock them from a ruin. There's also that connection. Can that be even made? It cannot. Of course, you know, this is sort of an annoying farm to build. Especially, you know, since I want to make goods instead of bots there. We do not have flexible fabrication available, right? It shuddered the thought of finding another forge world, right? Perhaps the solution just is to get another ore planet somehow. Like, getting this mission early would be such a huge benefit as well. Perhaps, though, we'd be better served with a different solution. Let's have a look and see if we can't make bots in some way. It doesn't appear to be the case, although we have many, many Earth-likes here. Why do we have so many Earth-likes? Oh, perhaps it's because of... Ah, hospitable. Right. Haven't seen any beautiful sights yet, but hospital does help, right? We have this many Earth-likes. Perhaps xenotourism is actually feasible in this kind of sector. In which case I feel kind of silly for, you know, settling this world. Perhaps, right, we settle for no goods here, but we go for goods over the other side. Right. We can certainly use chips if I made them here. That's the beautiful part, right? And we could use robots if I made them here to make water and to send that back. And that would complete the mission. Like, more than complete the mission, in fact. So yeah, let's do that. All of that. Go ahead and make some water there. So now you are happy. Go ahead and make some robots down here. Right, which gives our mission complete. Right, which is sort of what we want. Now we have to invent some technologies for the Vittori. We'll definitely do so. And the Bakar wants to explore to the left. I think we'll go ahead and do the other two missions first. This exploration mission, while it's fun to do, it's probably not where I want to go, considering just how much stuff I still have to do over here, and considering how expensive that will be to do. Because we're kind of running low on money. We do not have a sustainable source of income just yet. Though we'll get a lot if I just, for example, do this, right? We can do that. That. And that. Like, we're quite able to get some income like so. And then we can perhaps do quantum sensors. Right, and then we can follow that up with xenotourism at some point. Now, I'll do an Earth-like farm. It's a very cheap way to make lots of food. Fortunately, that is obstructed, but that's fine. We're at 5%, so we should take care that we don't overflow you. Now, I think the best solution here is the Gaia worldview for now. The lack of goods here, right? But we have a solution in that we have solar superconductors. I think we'll use actually our researchers perk on doing all of these tier 1 techs, actually. We're going to get both in 1 year, actually. Well, that's a plus. We should also be able to do a chip laboratory, if I am correct. Right, by putting it up here, and up there. We have the additional chip to send in for the energy down here, which would unlock the additional human here as well, but you know, we need to use one from here. We don't have a robot for you. I don't know if that's a good idea, but it'll work. Are humans into robots down here? Perhaps, right. It's going to be too expensive though. So how good is this? We go down in 2 income, right? We'll be able to get 18 here. 21? I'm not so sure about this plan. The problem with it is if we have to, you know, if we have to unlock xenotourism now, we should be sort of like going for these, right? I think we'll just do 2 explores here. It's a final bit of money. We'll be able to get 2 techs in a couple of years. That's not the problem. This is unfortunate, right? We've kind of squandered our Forge Worlds here for the potential to do xenotourism, I think. Although, right, there's one more here. The thing with xenotourism is you need a bunch of those Forge Worlds and things, right? If we could connect in some of those, then we could make some more robot, but we would need to make goods as well. Which I decided not to do over here. Was that not smart? I don't know. Like, we do get additional chips available because of it. Right. And we do get the ability to get energy from here with the chip. And, you know, send it back, for example. Or send it into the colonies. If we could make a boat. Does that... That doesn't reach, does it? Yeah, that's the major issue, isn't it? Alright. I would like additional people. Let's have a look up here. See if we can't farm for something. Oh, this is a great one, actually. This is that. Yeah, so the thing is, there are lots of things that want water, so you are going to be water. You're going to be that. I think that's just going to be a given here. Of course, we have solar superconductors, so I could also make a... hold on. I could also make energy here. Since we do have robots available here, water available there, energy available here, right? That energy could serve as a source of goods and things. So we maybe should do this plant instead, actually. I think the star should be the robot over there, right? We could sort of align that in, which will allow me to pipe in an ore extra. We would have to skip, though, at some point this year. Or take this asteroid. It's a bit of an unfortunate lack of value there, though. So, you know, there's an alternative to that plan, which would involve going for these first. In which case, you know, which sequence do we go for? I think that, you know, we want to make some use out of this food. So some colonies here would be a great idea. And some water over there. Sure, right. We can make some ore over here. And then this one's probably also a colony, right? So we can get more trades in, right? And then this one will probably be food for the colony down there, right? Looking at who are connected to the asteroid. We're lacking some robots, though. We'd have to make additional chips down here. Of some form. There's robot shortages everywhere, aren't there? Also, you need to be solved next year, right? So, alright, but we'll do this one first because it's going to give us the most cash. Now, we can do you before the end of the year, which I think is advisable. Giving us at least a bit more money to work with this year. I'll go ahead and pipe in the additional ore. Although before I do that, let's get the technology, right? Solar superconductors is the one we want. Giving us Vittori task complete. And now we can get 3 more import hubs and 2 ore producing things successful. Don't really have a plan for you because we don't have the second export, which is unfortunate. Well, there's more ore being produced here. And we could make some more on this side, perhaps, right? In some form, or you're probably going to have to be robots. Getting a remnant of prosperous might be difficult too, though. In fact, like our only remnant plant's over here currently, and just nowhere near being surrounded by prosperous worlds. Although, you know, it could become successful fairly easily. I just don't see it becoming... Well, then you're going to be prosperous as well, right? Oh, that's a thought. On the other hand, you know, we kind of want the Bakar things if we want to go for colonization tech, right? If we want to go for replicating nanites, which I do, because that's a really good tech for us, then I should probably go ahead and grab the Bakar missions. Unless, you know, we're really wanting to take some Vittori techs now. Enlightenment, infrawave stations, matter transposition, and time dilation. I'm not really too interested in it, to be honest. Yeah, even though the mission for the Vittori is a bit easier for us, it is the reward for it isn't really suitable for what we're wanting to do. Okay, so now that we've got, you know, enough money to do what we want to do, let's go ahead and fix you before you start complaining too much. And then let's go ahead and input this into the system. That would put us at established though, so let's be a little careful about what we do here. Ideally, we put it in such a way that we get a maximum value out of our time here. Now, the problematic aspect here is the robot, isn't it? We really need to get something like a relay or what have you, in order to get you a chip so you can become successful. You can make an additional robot for me. I don't think it's in the cars, to be honest. Asteroid mining, and none of these are that amazing for us. Trade hubs might be good though. They might be an option to make money. You know, there's also, you know, the option of just taking this into tourism if we find a spot for it. We just really haven't, to be honest. We could also scan a bit, right? There's nothing against that. In order to prevent us from having to spend, you know, all this money. I'll take this asteroid then. And we'll go ahead and reveal this information over here. Oh, very nice. We could make some more ore. If we had some persons available, right? That's the main problem down here. There aren't really any people. But there are possible additional sources of ore. So I might take one and then take, you know, a solar farm instead of people. Huh. I mean, and then we would make some microchip, right? Alternatively, we could make a human here, right? And then do that. Supposing we find some biomatter for it, right? I mean, it does unlock a bunch of these options here, which are nice. Right, anyway, let's go ahead and go into the next year with another 50. And go ahead and build ourselves some two-way trades and things, right? I think that this is just such an excellent solution to all our problems that it makes just a whole bunch of sense to do it. The solar farm is fairly expensive, but inputting an energy into the system here allows us to do something like that. We're out of money though. And that does work, right? So what is that? Here's a successful planet down here. Maybe I should take this link first. Wish I'd known about this. We could have just made a robot here. Yes, that is the eternal problem, isn't it? Well, now we are out of money though. So one thing we might do is just pick up gene adjustment. Always the useful tech, right? And give us some additional money. Just like that. If I could somehow create an additional import hub, we would get 80 money as well. Is that possible this year? I doubt it, right? It's close, but we can't quite do it. We'd have to do this one. We can go to next year though, and then we can do it. Well, you're already an import hub. But doing so makes a bunch of successful and possibly prosperous worlds in the future. In fact, it makes a prosperous world right now. I think I should take that opportunity, right? To make a prosperous world rather than try to get ourselves access to other things. So yeah, we don't have quite the import hub required. Now there is another option of making it here, which could be good. As long as we have some sort of biomatter solution, which we kind of don't, which is such an unfortunate thing because this Arctic here could be great for various options. Like we kind of want try for this one there perhaps. It's a bit far-fetched, isn't it? I mean, we do have energy, right? We could unlock more energy tech if I wanted to as well. I think that might not be too terrible actually. We'll be able to get input hubs and things. We also have a lot of humans up here. I'm not sure what to do with them. We don't have freeze resistant bolts or anything, right? Like I could also just get you up. I'm out of range though. I'm looking towards a way of doing this that actually, you know what? Let's just do this. Why not just do the simplest possible thing, right? This year. We'll go ahead and grab you. Now we can't do this until next year because of the fact that the energy is bouncing, but look at that, 80 credits. Also, we made a prosperous world here. Yeah, I told you this was an easier mission. Then again, the Bakar also gives us a relatively easy mission, right? So we should go ahead and do that mission right now. The main question is how, right? Because we need water here. The only way to get it is from the ocean. Well, then you need an output, which I cannot give it. I mean, I could build an additional lab, but that would be a giant waste of money and resources that I would rather never have to do. I could colonize both of them, but I don't really feel like doing that either. Perhaps we should focus on some research in the interim. So you're at -4% already. Can I just not sort of... I can't fix it that way. Would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, so how do we... I mean, either water in here, which, there isn't any, or we go ahead and do this stuff. I'm not sure how to output ore from these, though, is a problem, right? Like, they don't have any outputs available to them. Like, this one, for example, can go here, but... Like, you need 2 outputs is the problem, right? I mean, I could make an additional ore lab for 1. Right. That might just be the thing we'd have to do. Because there's just no other way of getting enough outputs. And I do really, really, really want to solve this problem we have here. So I guess we'll go ahead and, sort of start building these. So, there's your prosperous planet as well, which is nice. So, I mean, I could definitely see, the ability to make a robot up here. As well as perhaps one here, right? Followed by water here. Like, water here seems like a super good idea, so we'll go ahead and do that. The problem is trying to do this without having to cross streams, right? Is a hard problem. Although, if I try to squeeze this, right, just for argument's sake, right? This would work, right, for all 3. I would like to have 3 here, though, because otherwise we're making a pathetic amount of science. This would give us the required access, but would cut off a water connection. Although we only need 2 prosperous ones, right? So I think that's fine. And also, we can make a bot there and then finish that solution, so that's fine too. I'm not sure how to solve this then, but... and maybe we just make the bot up here as well, right? That would make some sense, wouldn't it? Alright, in that case, let's go ahead. I mean, you don't have a person, right? That's the problem now. There's always a problem or two. I mean, I could do that, but then, we don't have a person for the lab. I could make this colony as well. Give that, we'd have a person for the lab at the very least. That might just be the thing we'd have to do, because there's just no more people available here. Yep. So something like a colony up here in order to get access to... Right. One additional science. I mean, it's not going very fast, but it is what it is. And then there's our water. Yeah, so that's a bit of a problem. We'll get our boat over here. As you know, there's that, if I want it. There's perhaps a possibility of another lab based on robots. How are you doing? 7%. Yeah, this is a problem. I don't think I can fix you in time is the problem here. I mean, I could, but it'd be too risky, right? I don't want to either as well because of empire size problems otherwise. We do have a bit of money now, but I don't really want to squander it is the thing, right? I'll just do that just to make some additional money. I'll keep the ore actually. We'll be able to send it into one of these labs eventually. Like I'm hoping that we'll be able to interconnect things with either teleporters or with the other option, right? The teleporter will still be okay, I think, in this setup. We'll be able to get water in here. We'll be able to get ore into the other laboratory, right? There's a bunch of options, really. There's actually quite a bit of options. We can get ore in that laboratory as well, the pair. They're now very expensive. You can only do one thing at a time, but it's still good enough, I think, to be able to deal with the problems. Now, how are we going to get an additional successful ore world? It was going to be this one. But we're going to have to look for some food first. Ooh, this is bad. I was expecting to be able to get at least one food planet up here. It appears the only food planet we have is obstructed. Thankfully, though, we've got geo-harvesting available, so we could harvest it. In fact, we could harvest it next year. So let's go ahead and... Should I greedily grab science? That's a bit of an expense, but I think I will. There's 2 more points. Well, if we go geo-harvesting, then I might as well, right? Yeah, that I might as well do that. What did I do with this last month? I guess I could colonize it, right? Yeah, why not, right? And then we'll geo-harvest the ice ball. Well, you know, I could later turn it into a star. Should I be doing... Hold on, we should scan what this is. If this is a better solution, then we should take it. It's just out of range, right? We don't have any range tech either. I really want this food because it'll solve every problem down here. It's like necessary, right, in order to get you to... I mean, we can't get you to successful. What am I saying? Like, there's no way of doing that. We need another ore world to become successful because you are not going to be it. It's going to be you, probably. I mean, yeah, this was necessary, of course, but we have so many struggling plants. It's going to be a big problem, isn't it? There's like sort of lacking resources everywhere. We'll be able to fix a bunch of them, but like this area has been a bit of a problem. Well, let's go ahead and connect you at the very least so we get some robots. And I think for the rest of it, we'll just leave it for now. There's like 5 struggling plants. Let's try to solve some of those. Yeah, so you're going to be another ore producing planet for us. In which case, you know, you would need a human that can only come from here, I think. Yeah, I went into October, but yeah, out of range. I would imagine that's the case. Alright. We have no biomatter here, just kind of annoying, right? So so we have this connection, right? So that's neat, right? I also have some chips available for me. And that gives us our task, right? Go on to Prosperous, we'll do that. And then establish a lab studying biomatter. There's like a complete and utter lack of that resource, so we'll not do that then. I don't know how to do 6 two-way trades. We'll figure something out, I suppose, right? There's just a complete lack of biomatter in this sector, so I don't think that trying to go for anything with that is a good idea in any sense of the word. It won't work. We don't have any. There's no point. Also, you know, there's an additional... So yeah, all we have to do is get one of these oil-producing plants to Prosperous. How close are you, actually? You want one more import and export, and you want neighbors. Yeah, so there's a problem there, right? If I had a bot for you, I'd be able to make perhaps this work. I don't think so, actually. I could send the water up here all the way. And then we could do a two-way trade here, making you have just one more import needed, I believe. It's still going to be impossible, isn't it? Like, we could just do it, right, and see what happens. But yeah, yeah, you would need one more import as well. So, you know, you'd maybe need to make these worlds successful, which you don't have a plan for either. So that's not the solution to that problem. How's this looking like? 2 goods, huh? Those could be useful later. I just want to know how to get there. That's that. Let's have a look what this is. Could be energy. Could also be more ore and microchips, which could solve our problem actually as well. Although, you know, we don't need to. If you don't need to, you shouldn't, right? So yeah, so what I'd want to do is get replicating nanites ASAP, right? We ought to advance our science a bit further. Sure, we have a couple labs, but it's not amazing. Maybe we have an opportunity here to do something. So yeah, let's make some goods here, so that we have some additional humans available, who are going to be instrumental to our success. We can make some water up here. And then we can perhaps... Right, if we... I don't know if I can... If I... Hold on, I want to see, you know, can I position this so that we can get all of these? Oh, we can. Okay, good. That is that's all I wanted to know. Right, is that possible or not? Obviously, it's not going to be hugely efficient, but it's going to be good enough, right? November, December, January. And then we'll go ahead and invest further into it. Would you look at that, right? Although, you know, we've cut this off, so we'll have to solve you later, right? There's many of those cases, but, you know, we've got the science going now, right? We've got 6 additional science in there. That's a fairly decent amount in total. Okay, so how do we... Yeah, that's going to be solved somewhere, you know, some other way. So then, can we get some more, perhaps? I mean, one thing we could do, right, since we only one tech to advance, is try to do something like Starbirth now. Instead of going replicating nanites first. The Starbirth, I mean, it's like 3 years, right? The Starbirth will solve a lot of problems for us. In fact, maybe we could use that to do our missions for us. We can do this connection at the very least, right? And some more money. Yeah, I mean, I've got a star here available, right? I've got one available here too, which will help quite a big deal in connecting you, and then we get this one for free, and perhaps even that one as well, right? Just to solve things a bit. Although we'll no longer be able to send in humans there, maybe not. I'll be able to do a robot laboratory as well if you want to get really greedy with things. But if I want to do that, possibly I should take Starbirth first. Reason being that in doing so, I mean, I do advance our science to the next level if I take it. We could then follow up with hyperdrives and then, go for the replicating nanites last. I'm just not sure if I want to do that though, because we'll have to found some colonies as well, right? In the meantime, unless all we do is somehow prescribed by that. I mean, there are teleportation as well, right, with Euphorians. We don't have the tech discount as the thing, right? Yet. We would have to do a mission to get the tech discount. Like, I'm kind of wasting a lot of science if I don't use the tech discount here, right? So can we get a prosperous mineral world without much more trouble, right? How about you? Yeah, the problem is the imports and exports, not so much the successful partners. I just don't have a way to get you 2 more imports and exports. Successful partners is fairly doable, but you're way off. You're also way off. This one's closer, but still, right? Partners, no partners. I mean, I could give you a star, right? And that would sort of preclude the whole scenario that we're trying to set up. I could build an energy thing here, right? And that would help, because it would be able to turn. I mean, would it? Huh. I mean, kind of, right? We can make robots here. We can make energy there, and we make 2 energy. Problem being, I wouldn't be able to, I would have to send one into the robot maker, of course. And then, we'd have to send the other one into this one. And then it still has to send out one more of its things in some way. Right, that's the issue, right? It still has to send some ore out, and it can't yet without hyperdrives or something. Well, how well would hyperdrives work here if I just unlocked those instead? I don't know, right? We'll be able to get our ore plant to prosper with them? Maybe. Right? We would get more science immediately, and that's always a good thing to consider. I don't think we would get ore producing plants successful with a hyperdrive. I could be wrong about that, but it kind of depends on, are you in range? Probably not, right? Out of range of normal slipway even, so I would say no, not for a regular hyperdrive, right? You would probably be in range. If I gave you an import and then an export, you would pop, right? Like, maybe it's hyperdrives, to be honest. First. Just to complete this mission quickly. Like, we would also, not go to 32, which is a great thing. If I take hyperlane here, could we, like that? But it needs an additional import or export, right? A person, which is out of range. No, we can't do that one. Right, what about over here? No, right, because there's no exports. It's a bit annoying, right, isn't it? We're quite close, but not close enough. There's no places that can, there's another export, right, we can do immediately. There's another one. I mean, maybe we should just do it. Just because of how many things we can fix with it. Right. We'll just look at it, right. What was the plan again? You, right. Start with you, send in here. Then we jump over here, Right, getting a prosperous plant right there. 58 income. 60 income? I mean, you know what? Not bad, right? A leap of logic, but also, you know, there's one more. And, you know, perhaps, you know, some science wouldn't be bad. Oh, that has the one end must be planet problem. I forgot about that one. Oh, right, so we should just send it in here then. Another prosperous, right? More income? 6 more? Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could undo a bunch and get that earlier, but nah. Right, it's fine. Can you connect here? You can. Alright, there's another prosperous. You know, we can make all our plans prosperous like this, but perhaps we should, right? Because there's more income and things, right? We're out of range. We could colonize as arid, right? And that would give us, get us over 32 and completely ruin us. So that wouldn't be a smart idea. I would get the two-way trade. I just wouldn't be able to get this, right? Here's the main issue. Right, we're getting close to making you prosperous, but we won't ever get there. And the same applies to most of these ore planets. They're just slightly out of range of being prosperous. Not by much, right? By a hair or two. But they are also, we're getting like a ton of these problems here. So yeah, the other solution is Starbirth, which would solve a lot of these struggling planets, but wouldn't really help in getting prosperous things. So one other thing we could do is we could send you energy. That's not going to work. None of that is advisable. We could try to do that energy, but that's also not in range. I mean, yeah, more ore here, right? If you just found more uses for it, right? Blow that up. I mean, yeah, that was the other option, right? I mean, if we look at that option, right? Right, we look at the option of geo-harvesting from here. Blow you up. We would build a wetland farm, go into the next year with 200 credits. We would gain humans here. We would have to pick up hyperdrives. Right, we would hyperdrive that. Probably asteroid here. Right, fix that. Send in a human. I would definitely want to do this connection just for the science sake. Sure, right? And then would... that's slightly out of range. Oh, that's annoying, right? Isn't it? Because the point was going to be that we were going to make some more ore work for us, but apparently that's not the case, right? Did I just sort of also mess this up? I kind of did. I mean, if I do this, then we can't go back is the problem, right? And I just used geo-harvesting for just a single planet. I don't think that's the answer either. I don't want to throw away my science points, is the thing. Especially not when, you know, we could maybe even... I mean, does that even connect? That was slightly out of range, isn't it? Yeah, like... We're still short science to do anything we want, right? So it's like... I mean, you could get some here, right? Or you can get 8 here. For some reason. Like, I wouldn't know what to do with it, but... We could. We're so close, right? If only there was some way to use all this ore Hint, hint, right? Like if you were closer, for example, right? Maybe you had some tech to move that planet closer. There is transpose, right? I'm considering it at this point. I'm like, is that... I mean, you also need successful partners, right? Which is the problem as well. Like if I didn't have... I mean, I guess I could move that in here, right? To generate robots in there with swap. Like if we did swap, like look at all these options, right? It's a bit much. So, you know, that would generate another happy planet for you. But then, you know, you would need imports and exports, 2 of those. So, you know, we can do this swap as well then, right? And then, you know, do that. And now you have enough things, but you need more successful partners as well, right? So we would have to invent hyperlanes and connect you here, and then connect you there. And then you would want a water, which you would instantly get, right? So we would take the bonus science here. Be very sad that we're 1 science off of being able to do what we want. Right, so let's just look at what this looks like, right, in the future. We would do hyperdrive, we would connect that, and we would connect that. And that's still not enough for some reason. Yeah, we need goods in there, and it's nowhere near close. Same with that, we need like 2 more techs to make this work. That is not a good solution either, even though it's fancy as hell. I don't think it's workable. If you need too many successful partners. Well, swap's an interesting tech for us, right? Certainly. Don't know if it's necessary, but it's an interesting tech for us. Is there really no way for us to get some more 2-way trades either, right? I don't think without... I don't think we'll be getting there without some additional technology, right? That's the problem. I mean, there's this one, right? Like the simple thing as well would be just to, you know, take an asteroid or something. And, you know, take a planet. We would take a 2-way trade here, we would take a human there. I'd be able to send in even more, right? But like this thing has enough trades if only we gave it something to do. Yeah, would you imagine, right? Obstructed, right? Obstructed and far away. I mean, out of range there too. The way of using it, I mean, yeah, you can do something like, you know, but even then, right, we're still lacking our ability now. Not a good answer either, right? The puzzle continues. There must be a solution, right? There must be something that's a little bit more, you know, efficient, palatable to me than all of the things we've tried so far. Like I liked the hyperlane solution, I think the best so far of all the things we tried. It's expensive with regards to science, but we use up our money fairly well. We keep our income going. We advance our tech, but you know, we don't get any. What about enlightenment? Is that any use? No, I don't want enlightenment, I think, because we'll get energy things and stuff. I could get energy-driven industry as well, right? See, we can't do something with that. We would get an additional human down here. So if I took it, I would be able to connect a human in here, which would give it another import. Now there's a thought. If I could make a water go in here as well, we could get you, right, with like hyperlanes as well, like hyperlanes and energy-driven industry. That's the idea. We get both. We use this to advance, and then we go for the hyperdrive. I don't know what the rest to do with the rest of the time this year then, but we'll figure something out, right? I think we'll just build some regular slipways in anticipation of the future. That would probably be the best solution here, to not waste any time. But I don't want to go to 32 ideally, right? But there are some regular slipways that were part of the plan as well. Or we could get the science, right? Would that allow us to get both? It's 59, right? Yeah, we would. Okay, so that would be then the part of the plan. What does that look like, actually? If I take the science right now, I can still reverse that, right? We can take energy-driven industry, and then we can take hyperdrive. And you still have the ability to take an early tier 4 tech, right, with our ability. And then that would enable me to get an additional human here, which would maybe be part of our solution. So if I go ahead and do you, right, and then go ahead and do that, then you are at one successful trading partner. Okay. Can I get you additional ones? Yes. Hopefully anyway. You are now prosperous. And there's that, right? If we could get some goods, we would be there. I think I like this better than any other plan, so let's go with it. We'll go ahead and send in the science first, I think. Because we need the science. Okay, so there's that, right? I'll go ahead and fix this. Okay, that makes a big difference, right? I can get a good here, but I don't want to. I want to see if we can't do something about this stuff here, right? Like you are incredibly close to popping prosperous now. In fact, aren't we there? Oh, we're there. Nice, we get a Picard tech discount. So that's pretty big because we'll be able to get a discount on replicating nanites now. Which is sort of the tech we were eyeing all the time, right? So that's neat. Also, you know, we have an additional human available here now. I overlooked that a bit. Kind of, sort of, but you know, we can't do everything at the same time. That gives us an additional science down here. Well, that's not bad, right? If I could, I mean, I could even connect this 4x rune in, but I don't think I should early. Right? There's additional energy here, right? Additional food here. I mean, we could do this right, as well. Would that make you prosperous, actually? It would. I mean, it's kind of neat, isn't it? It makes 6 income for 3, but... yeah, right. That's sort of this core of prosperous plans. The thing I don't want to do, though, is make too many prosperous ocean worlds, because that's the goal of the Euphorians all the time. So perhaps I want to leave you on purpose unsuccessful, so that we can maybe get a successful, prosperous ocean world that will... I mean, hold on a second. I sent a bot in here. Why did I do that? You were at... hold on. Yeah. You were at there anyway, so why not just send you, right? What else did I do? Complete the mission, right? Yeah. Cool. This one could go here instead, which is actually a much better way of doing things. Because energy, right? Energy is so nice to have. Because we had no plan to get goods in here, but now we do. And suddenly, you know, all the people in the world are here. Am I liking this idea, actually, because of that? It might be a little problematic to use that many people over here. I mean, with... it's not really true, right? With, like, upgraded hyperlanes will be fine, sending them all out. And, you know, we'll be able to make a lot more prosperous planets with that many people available. Alternatively, we could try and send energy somewhere else, though. We don't have to send it in there. We could leave you at regular, but, you know, that's the thing. Also, you know, you just became prosperous as well because of this. I wonder why. Because you have enough successful partners, that's why. Ah, neat. So now we can get this as well. We can have our cake and eat it too. I mean, don't mind if I do, right? So you already have a biomatter available. In fact, why are you... Wow, you're in range? Really? I mean, that's nice, I suppose, right? I mean, I suppose it could make you work as well, right? I mean, it's another prosperous, right? Like all these prosperous worlds, right? How much are we paying for these hypership upkeep, actually? It's significant, isn't it? 32, yeah. Yeah, we spent a lot of money on them, but I think it's worth, right? Am I okay with the solution so far? I would like to get a ruin in. Robots as people. What would that do? Would help over here, I suppose, but not to a huge extent. I don't think I want it for just that. We could get 60 money here, but I would like to get more income first. Maybe we should just take the ocean planet, the prosperous. Where should I be sending that energy, right? $71 money, right? Like, I could try to sort of up that even further in some way, right? There's only one tech advance too. We could just take xenotourism and advance that way. I mean, is that bad though? Like, we have surplus humans. We just need surplus goods and energy and things. We'd be able to get a lot of xenotourism going. That might be our ticket to the end, because xenotourism is easy to get to prosperous, right? All you have to do to get a xenotourism planet to prosperous is just send in a person, send in a good, and send in a robot. Which we could start making in abundance if I wanted to, right? In some form or another. Yeah, I mean... man, the old-fashioned teleporter, right, would just be like send in one, go over there. I mean, we can still kind of use them, right? To make more science. I don't know, though. Maybe it's replicating nanites first. Save us all the time in the world. 71 money, right? I mean, there's two more, right? There's one up here, too. I could also take the asteroid. Well, that might be too slow, right? Comparatively speaking, I mean, we're getting 75 here, right? I'll be able to build some more hyperlanes before the end of the year. That's mostly why I'm doing it. Because, you know, this one over here, successful, right? That one, successful, but doesn't really make additional money. So we'll hold off on that. We can also decide to send this energy someplace. Take the place of a chip. I mean, no, right? We would send it in here so we get the chip, and then we build a slipway. No. Try to benefit as much as possible. Yeah, that'd be out of range, of course, but I think we'll want to make a robot lab as well if I can help it, but for now, right, we're kind of running out of money if I don't use all the things I've got. So what's up next? I mean, I believe we're kind of okay with this whole mess of setup that we made. Yeah, I would like to get this. Maybe just make a cheap slipway that we'll build in the future anyway, right? I could even connect this in if I wanted to as well. Why not? All we need is one food. We're just anticipating star birth and things, right? So yeah, I mean, replicating nanites, right? Or should I just take xenotourism first? I could, right? How expensive is star birth as well? Only 42, right? It's quite nice. We're also kind of lacking in two-way trades. We've only built 1 or 2 so far. I see a good way to make a lot small. Now we can actually get you successful if I wanted to. Maybe even prosperous if I wanted to. Certainly, right, could be nice. We'll need some imports and exports. Like we could get some two-way trades up, right? We would get the Euphorian mission complete. The Euphorian mission being our goal to get some prosperity going. I mean, we could do this now, right? That would be one two-way trade, but that would waste some time, right? Some Earth-like here, which could do biomatter, I suppose, right? And water. But these aren't in range of each other, which would be, you know, the sort of clinching factor. But they're not, which makes it sort of less useful. And we could still incorporate some of the other things we did, right? We could try to go for the swap thing. It's like making robots here, right? And then, you know, we'd send in a robot, we'd make a robot go there, make a robot go there, get a water from there. Sure, right? Take a human from here as well, right? Make you prosperous. We could do all of that with swap. Swap's also cheapened, isn't it? It's not. We haven't taken the Vittori Tech discount yet. I should have. So that's not an option really either. Huh. Decisions. Where are my decisions? So we have no spare resource for labs, right? Like, should I be making a lab? I mean, I certainly could, but how expensive is that? Like, at this point, right, after looking at what? Oof, yeah, 20? 17 additional, yeah, I mean, kind of nasty, right? Also, you know, we have no humans available because we've used them all. Here, right, but there's no resources here. As ore, but that's not really the resource I want to research. I'm already researching like 2 ore labs. There's a limit to how much we can do with one single site type of resource. We would want to research robots, and to do that we would need to build this colony up, really. To do anything we need to build this up, and you know, this ice ball is just so in the way. You wouldn't believe it, right? But like, I didn't want to do. We can still pick up geoharvesting with our thing, I suppose, right? Blow up the ice balls, connect that in, but again, like, it wastes so much time doing that, right? Is the thing. It costs you so much extra time that I would rather spend on getting more planets. Yes, we get the food, right? And then, you know, that is available, right? Are you? You're like inches out of range, aren't you? Yeah, look at that. Literally. 2 inches. And then, you know, we'd be able to get a human out here, a human out there, right? We get 2 additional humans with the food. We would actually use all the humans instantly. Never mind. We wouldn't be able to get a robot lab then. We'd still need another colony. I suppose this one, right? Wouldn't that just do? I mean, I could, right? Would it be too aggressive to do that? Maybe not though. We would get to use up another food here, right? And, you know, one more over here as well in the future, which would mean that, you know, you get to pop prosperous then. We'll be able to send the humans to various places, but we would lose 32 income, right? just don't want to lose 32 income right now. It would basically be death. How good is reduction on strive? Well, it would give us 20 income, right? Again, like, the problem with that is we would be giving up all our science. You know, it's money or science, but we can't have both. We can't have our cake and eat it too, and I would so like to do that. It's delicious. Delicious cake. We should make some, actually. Get inspired, right? Go make some food. Inspired cooking. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of hyperlanes going around now. It's kind of getting a bit confusing. Huh. Yeah, just having some food here would be nice, right? That would still be out of range, yeah. None of our things would work. And all of our things are failing. You really not have any... Yeah, you're out of range by far, right? Yeah. Like lab connections, right? If we could teleport us, perhaps, right, for it. I mean, I could skip a year, but that just feels off, right? That seems bad. No matter what. The thing is, if I start settling planets, right, we would advance the clock rather quickly, so we would be able to get through this year fairly quickly. We would not be able to build many hyperlanes, though, anymore. Because of our lack of funds, we'll never really be able to get many funds either. No matter what I do, I'd be in trouble, right? I think we're just going to be relying on these, and, you know, starting to make some colonies now at this point. I don't see any other solution, really. We should just make some more science, I suppose, right? That'd be an option. I certainly don't see another solution. The increase in monetary requirements is so steep, right? And tough. That we sort of get this problem here. Maybe I should have just gone xenotourism earlier, but we just don't have the opportunity now. Really, realistically speaking, let's go ahead and build those colonies, I think. Get them two-way trays up, right? It's not all bad. We're back up to 63 income. Like, what do we start at? 82? That's a 20 we threw away, but... I mean, it's not really helping, is it? Maybe we just take this one. We don't take the Earth-like. The arid here, at least, you know, kind of sort of pay for itself. The Earth-like really doesn't have enough connections really to be worth it. In that case, if we're founding plants, then why not found some more? I wouldn't know. Can we connect this eventually? I don't know, like with this perhaps, right? Really stable jumps expensive, right? Water. People. You at least... You do. Huh. Hold on a second. Never mind. Would have been nice, wouldn't it? Not a real solution to our problems. Yeah, two-way trades, right? 6 of them is so many. There's quite a lot of two-way trades we'd have to do. What about this option? You're out of range. Why are you out of range? So rude. Rude, I say, rude. So, you know, there's the option of an energy here, right? Totally too many humans. Like, I'm looking for a way to get those two-way trades. I'm not seeing any, right? I might just be blind, but like, this can only make humans. This can only make things that don't make humans. Same with here. There's an option. There's a possibility here if we could get water out of robots somewhere, right? If we get an Arctic or something. I doubt it. Like, there's you, right? But you're way too far away. That's like an input here I could do, right? But that's not necessary. There's an input here we could do. I mean, you can actually afford that, but you know, I wouldn't really want to place it right now. Yeah, I don't know about this whole thing. Then, if I don't, you know, if I don't get the money from it, there's no point to it. Yeah, I mean, like, skipping a whole year though feels so bad. Maybe we just sort of explore this year a bit, right? Like, I just don't see good options, right, for like getting this quick, right, and getting over this hump in empire size. Because if I get, you know, if I had my tech now, it would be fine, but I don't have my tech now, right? I have it like in a year or 2 or 3. Also, you lacking food is just the most infuriating thing, right? If you had out of range, slightly out of range, out of range, everything's out of range. Why is everything out of range? If I take you, can we just sort of fix things? I might just do that. But then, you know, we'd be throwing away another 13 science. We only got a 37. How are we going to get the whatever we need, like 45? We need 8 more. And also we'd be blowing up our source of energy. I don't want to do that. I want to blow up my future source of energy. It seems bad. What Starbirth? We'll get that. We'll get there. Right? Probably. I mean, realistically, right, we've got another, what, 8 years? So seven sets of science. So like 150 science-ish in total. Like, we can do like 3 techs, right? Which probably means something like nanites plus Starbirth plus teleporters, or nanite plus stuff. I think it's teleporters though, yeah, definitely. If we can get those now, right? And we end up with 50 science, right, which is not enough for teleporters next year either, right? Like, teleporters would allow us to connect all this ore into this lab, right? And this ore into that lab, which would certainly help in making more science. It would be probably too expensive though, right? It's the problem. Like, we can't wait 2 years. That just seems utterly mad. I could just blow up a bunch of planets, yeah, for some extra money. Like, maybe it's not Starbirth then, right? It's blowing up planets. So then we would go for... I mean, Starbirth seems so good though with extra things, right? Although, you know, with replicating knives, we could just get our things out of planets, I suppose, right? So then the text would be like replicating nanites, teleporters, and staple jumps, maybe, right? Or maybe just replicating nanites and stable jumps only, right? Nomi? I don't know what the third tech would be. Maybe like Ascension. It's crazy, right? We have extra humans, but they're all in the same place, right? Maybe not. No, probably not. Probably not, I think. Stable jumps would help, right? Teleporters would do kind of the same thing, would also help. Teleports require 3 months though, and stable jumps only 1, so unless we kind of need the reins explicitly, which sort of we should take stable jumps because it took these high planes anyway. Right. we'll be able to stable jump this, right? Yeah, but we need biomatter. I think that's not an option as well. So like stable jumps then, right? Nanites and what's our third deck be? Reactionless drive? Maybe. We'd have the money then. In that case, nanites first would be the solution. In that case, we'd probably want to go for more planets. I'd really like to get, if we're going to get those techs right, like a lot of those are from the Euphorians. So maybe we could get time dilation as well if we just get, you know, those perks up. We have the nanites perk, but we just don't have the others. We can get one over here. I already demonstrated that, but why can we get 3 more, right? I think we should just scan, to be honest. So we can see where we can actually make some of those two-way trades happen. Right, like over here. I wouldn't know how to solve those planets though in a reasonable time frame if they're that far away from the core of our empire. This one's already like all the way out. Like there's one two-way trade to be had here, right? You're going to be a colony. Or basically a nice thing to have. I mean, yeah, we could do something like, you know, like that, right? Guess it's a two-way trade, I suppose, right? It makes a huge amount of chips that we can't use for anything whatsoever, but, you know, it's a two-way trade. Wow. Right, that's number 4. Yeah, 6 of those is just such a problem this early. If we had culture or something, right, or luxury or whatever you would have you, that would work, but we don't have those techs available. So those are non-options too. We don't have enough arid planets here to really use all this water we have. I mean, those would work, right? Weather control would be great. That would also work. Weather control would be awesome for this, right? Just make a weather control. Dang, dang, dang. We solved it, right? No such thing. No such thing as a free lunch, I'm afraid. And you were out of range. Of course you were. So, like, you know, we've got this primordial here, which, you know, we could make stuff in, but there's no point. There's really none of point in here. This like Starbirth would be nice for everything as well, right? Like you could do that first, right? Starbirth first. We could do with this, with that, right? But none of that would get us anywhere closer to the Euphorian mission. Or this one as well, right? Get the human. We get the hyperlane. We would instantly solve everything. We'll get a bunch of humans actually, so we would be able to do a robot lab. Wait, if I do Starbirth first, we get a robot lab. Huh. I didn't think about that option. Well then what do we do this year, right? Like eat out of a nose? Like there's nothing to do. Like I'm short like a bit of science because we took the energy thing, right? Which we had to take in order to do the Bakar mission, right? Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's sort of... Yeah, it's like one income is not worth doing even. With hypership upkeep it would be, perhaps, right? But, yeah, there's no jungle available here either, right? For me to do robots into biomatter or something, right? You can't do robots into biomatter into robots. You can do robots into water into robots, right? We're doing robots into water here. I mean, we would instantly get this if I... So yeah, we would get this complete if I built a star. We would get, you know, this as well. So, you know, I could prep you as well, right? repair this. We could make this happen because we want to do that in the future anyway. Like, I'm just trying to sort of pre-build some things, right? We're trying to stay under 32 because it's so much money that we're throwing away. I cannot bring myself to do it. So perhaps we scout a few times and then skip. I mean, certainly I could take some more asteroids, right? To get some more money going. Yeah, we'll go to here at the very least. Okay, so what's up here? Is there any way to easily solve this? Because, yeah, with Starbirth, right? I mean, yeah, I suppose, right? I want to do this if I can get some two-way trays out of it, right? But I don't seem to be able to. In any reasonable, I mean, yeah, one, but you know, if I get just the one, I'm not gonna found two plants for it, not yet anyway. We want to do the stars first. In that case, we'll just go to 3419, I think. We at least get the 78 income, and we grab ourselves a Starbirth, which then allows us to fix a bunch of things. So let's start with this one, right? Boom, right? Like we get a bunch of science, a bunch of things. So what do you have? More science, actually. It's nice. Yeah. So let's study these. Let's grab a robot. Like I wanted to maybe do a robot lab as well, right? Like we can certainly do that without time. In that case, I should grab a robot there. Like, in fact, we can do so many robots here, right? Can't we? So what's the cheapest way of doing this? I think like this. Because we have hyperlanes. We can do a hyperlane for this one. That's 3 robots. 5 robots? And it's not bad, right? Where do I send this energy? I think in here. So we get additional water. Because there's like a water shortage here, right? Like with the 21 science, we should be able to get at least stable jumps and things, right? You know, maybe we do this one first. It's 20 per these things, right? So if I make you, give you a thing, you would make lots of water for me. That I wouldn't really be able to use, but at the same time, right? Can we get a bolt in here from any reasonable source? I mean, yeah, here, right? But I think we just send this. It'll make you successful. Now we're in December, so we're sort of fine with regards to that. Can I can't do that, right? Oh, I did. I made this connection. Hold on a second. This is not good. Now we have 47. That's better. It's like, where did all my money go, right? Yeah, that's 6 additional income, right? How much does the star cost, actually? The star is also 6, so I should really use both of these, and then you know, then it's fine. So where else do we send things, right? Yeah, I could send some here, but, you know, make tons of food, I suppose, right? But, I mean, are we planning on making any biomatter near here? No, right? Like, we're still hovering around 70 income is the thing, right? We're not gaining any. We're not really getting anywhere with this. We're at 39 science, right? We're kind of short on everything. We're not quite getting what I want out of this. Is a problem, and we still don't have replicating nanites, right? Which is still the tech I wanted first. We're still behind on getting it too because we delayed it by an extra year, 2 extra years actually, by taking the Starbirth because we only have 20 science. At the same time, though, we did get 5 more points of science, so we'll get up at 21. I don't know. The Starbirth does look pretty, doesn't it? Like, sure, we'll solve this problem as well, right? But, like, you know, to what use? To what use, indeed? I mean, you know, all these robots are nice to use as well. There's this connection. It's out of range, too. Yeah, it's like robot here, robot there, robot everywhere, right? We got 3 of these, though, so that's nice. Can I throw you into the lab, actually? No, you can't. You used to be able to do that. Just throw the extra engine into a laboratory on the old Slipways. Very, very old Slipways, right? The Pico 8 version. And you would just get some extra science out of that. Probably neat, but you can't anymore. Though instead, you know, we're making a bunch of water into science, so I suppose that's fine too. I could take this colony instead. Right, we could take some colonies next year. I sort of try to do that, but you know, we're going down in income by 30, right? What am I supposed to do here? We just not take Starbirth? I mean, I kind of scanned already, didn't I? I don't think we can reverse beyond it. Huh. Endless money troubles. Can't afford, right? So yeah, we only get like 90 every year, which is just like sort of a bit short of being able to do anything. I mean that, right? But I can't delay this by another year. We gotta go. We gotta go fast. We gotta go now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get all these missions and all these things that I want to do. I think we go for the Euphorian thing. Right. We go into Vast for now. Yeah, with the two-way trade, I think that's fine. With the other Slipway, not, you know, and this one as well. So we kind of get back some of the investment, but not all, of course. I think I'm going to go ahead and build a swamp here, because we can get another two-way trade out of it. We'll connect you up. Yeah, we can get some money out of you. That's excellent. And then, you know, since we're going to go into February anyway, it'd be better not to colonize here. And instead do something else, if we have something else to do. Is there anything that I want to still do at some point in the future? If I'm going to send you in there, yeah, that, but down range. I could pre-build this, right? It's costly, right? So I might not want to do that one in particular, because we don't get refunds or something for that. Of any nature. I mean, I guess I can pre-build this, right? I mean, it's going to give us some money in the end, but right? Not valuable enough to consider. Can you not send a human, like, anywhere? Because either already exists or out of range, right? I mean, that one works, right? But it cannot send a human anywhere, is the answer. You cannot send a water anywhere yet. You can, yeah, but that's the pre-build I was talking about before. Yeah, there's nothing else for us to build. So we could take some asteroid, but... or skip. Taking some asteroid would be, you know, more valuable than skip, at the very least. Like this one, for example. Sure. So this gives us the opportunity to get replicating nanites, right, which gives us a lot of extra time. Now, those replicating nanites can then be used to colonize in 1 month for 0, which is, you know, such a big increase in effectiveness. So, yeah, you know, this is the point, right, to be made. People into money. No. We'll get the flat money, right? We'll try to delay it as much as possible, though, to get... Okay, so I think we'll do these two now. And this whole plan sets it up so that we can go ahead and do some new tasks, right? All right. Unfortunately, yeah. We can accept only one thing. I can do 8 different resources. I think that's probably the easiest thing to do, since we're going to want to do that anyway. I would imagine that that's sort of the thing we're going to have to do. I'd also imagine that the next tech we're going to want to get is the Euphorian one, right? The one that gives us money. Reactionless drive into stable jumps, probably. It's because of, you know, how things work out. 8 different resources, right? So let's have a look up here actually first. There's many planets up here that we haven't seen yet because, you know, this is near the center of the galaxy, so we might be able to do something here. Which is kind of why I built in this direction in the first place, right? I kind of noticed this. It's kind of neat. Oh yeah, we can do something nice here. Okay, I'll do this. That, and that. Well, that looks good, right? Yeah, we can't use all these microchips, right? This is a problem. And that's out of range. I mean, with stable jumps, it'll be in range, right? There's a star we can build there, for sure. Like, I would like to keep it to 39 though, right, for obvious reasons. Because otherwise we'll really run out of money, and we're already nearly out. Does this even help our income at all? Right? 48, 43, 49. Yeah, it's kind of... We got this good asteroid now though, so... 45... One hell of an expensive slipway. Well, we need to chain it, right? Unfortunately, we can't. I mean, yeah, it's this, right? We're in July and we're out of money, right? This is sort of the problem we're going to run into with this whole setup here. Although, you know, so if we get reactionist drive this year, right? Okay, our income goes up to 84, and this actually also becomes bigger, which is sort of the main point of that, right? That should help. We can't afford that connection. Like, we have slip space overload, right? Thankfully, we've got hyperlanes though, which are not affected by it, so we can start, you know, instead of building 25, we can build 20 costs. If only we had like 5 more science, right? We're like sort of perennially a bit short, which we can't actually get to. Because we cannot found on another planet, because if we do, we run out of money, seriously run out of money. So like, yeah, we have to take the 48 now, I think. We do that. You know, we can get to an additional month here. We get to build more stuff. Like, there's lots of robots here now, which we can't do anything with, but you know, they're there. Well, that hyperlane does make it a little bit of additional income, I suppose. Later on we can do that one, certainly. I'm wondering if I should do this ore planet. Like, where can it send its other ores, right? Not really anywhere, but it will get successful, I think. Oh, it's also 6 income, right? If we could somewhat better use its ore, it would be great, but it can't. Maybe with swap, right, we would be able to, say, swap in the Forge world. We only have like 66, 81 more science. I mean, there's this, right? And then 1 more tech. I mean, it could be swap, right? It could certainly be swap. We'd be able to use all this ore. Like, swapping you in would be great, right? We'd be able to use all this ore 3 times, right? Just be a big ore sink, really, and then a good out of there, right? No good in here because we've already sort of energized this. We're using energy instead of goods everywhere, nearly. Well, that's a thing. That's certainly a thing. Worrying about you're out of range. Everything here is out of range. I knew that. That would also be out of range even if we could. We can't. The microforges, right? They would be incredible in this map. I would have so loved microforges. We can do that soon-ish. Go to January. Maybe we can't afford to go deeper. We would die if we tried to dig deeper. The walls dug too greedily and too deep, right? That sort of thing. Essentially, right? And hold, this slipway costs 23. A hyperlane is cheaper, but you know, this does give more income because hyperlane upkeep, right? This is sort of getting to the point though, right? That you'd rather build hyperlanes than regular slipways because you know you only get to pay the hyperlane upkeep like twice. Probably stable jumps next though before we go swap, I would imagine. So is there a way to get 2 more resources traded? Chips and bots, right? Or goods or something. So we could try to do more planets now that we're out of the money crunch a bit. We would go down in income again, right? Major problem, but I don't really see a different way of getting more resources, right? Bots, chips, and goods are the ones that we're missing. The only place... I mean, no, that's not... Oh, we're already trading, right? Oh, we can do this. That's a bot. Alright, we just need 1 more, right? A chip or a good. I mean, that should be possible. Right? Right? Please? Please? The mission is hard to do. Out of range. Yeah, completely and utterly out of range, right? Yeah, not even close. I don't even need to check those. Those are utterly out of range. And this one would be nice to use, but I mean, I could, you know, make energy, right? But right. Money. Administration costs. They're eating up all my exports. And all my income. And I can't get 1 more planet because if I do, they go up further. And I cannot afford to do that. Oh, can I? Out of range. Next year we could, but this year we can't. You are also making all the chips you can, right? Yeah, I can't amplify that further. Also, you're out of range, right? We already checked that. Would have been energy into things. It wouldn't really work, but it'd be neat. I already sent that box. Should have not sent it. That would have been a genius move and a half, right? Leave that box. You were out of range too. You're already sending it here. Alright, we already did that. What am I? Haven't it? You're out of range too, actually. Oh wow. Okay, I couldn't even do that. I was wondering if I could do that to fix it, but no, we need stable jumps before we can do anything further. And if I try to colonize more planets, I'll we keep being in the same boat, right? Where if I expand, the costs go up by too much because we don't have enough money tech to really, not have to worry about it. What about fusion plants? Do we have excess water? I mean, we kind of do in this area, right? I mean, yeah, right? Like, what about them? I mean, I said I wanted swap, but maybe we do fusion. Just go whole hog energy. What about them? I'd be able to use a chip. We'd be able to do the mission. And they don't make our planet count go up, more importantly, right? And we'll be able to actually fix this over here in some way. It'll be expensive, right? It'll probably take the rest of the year to do, but I would imagine we'll be able to do something like this. I'm certainly willing to try. So if I take you, right? Yeah, 3. 98. I mean, all those extra humans, right? Can we get ascension gates in time? No, I don't think so, right? If only, right? That'd be a pipe dream. I mean, we could, right? Maybe. I don't think so, though. Not if you also want stable gems, we can't. We would be able to send in, 6 humans into ascension gates, make 24 happiness, sure, right? But our slipway cost is up too high. Also, just wondering, right? 88, right? What about doing that? Is that not? Yeah, that doesn't count towards it. It's not still really overpowered about it. But I suppose So at least one thing we got going for us, because our money is just so tight. Like some kind of additional money technology would have been great here, but we didn't get any. One short of that. So no better sequence or order out of this. Like if we go from expensive to cheap, right? Does this save us 1 credit? No. If only rounding did, right? Sometimes rounding can work in your favor in that case, building these slipways in a different order. Right? What I would say. But, nope, skip for the rest of the year, right? Skipping the half a year at the end of the game feels really bad, but there's no way around it. So for the last year, we'll have stable jumps. Okay, so now we go for this. And we get our task complete, finally, right? I get this whole thing about, there's new tasks available now. All right, great. Invent 2 new technologies. We won't be able to do that, Vittori. Get 2 ocean plants that prospers or ore plants that prospers. I mean, there are 2 oceans here, right? What do you need? Successful trading partner, right? You. And then we're done. I mean, I could just throw it into a lab, or maybe we'll be able to do this, right? Maybe, right? It'll be close, but definitely, right? So that's also an ore-producing planet. So like... Yeah, we can do both of those. Crazy, right? But we can. As long as we have the money, right? I'm hoping we do. So, you know, first off, let's do that, because it, you know, creates additional energy. Why not, right? And then, you know, we've got all this energy here that we can't use. We can do that. Now we have tons of stuff here. Basically, right, we have all of this stuff that we can't really do anything with. But I mean, there's lots of stuff, right? That's fun. Like, you know, I could make another Earth, but if I do, boom, down goes our money, right? I mean, like, if I get this 4-bear rune for it, I think it's not much of a problem. Right, but perhaps we should wait until 3425 so that we actually get, you know, value out of this. Also, you know, I've noticed we have a little bit of an unemployment problem around here. It's a slight problem. We have loads of stuff and things, but we don't have anything for our humans to do. So we might want to build some hyperlanes to send to places. Like all this energy, right? Oh, we'll be able to get this one. Like, if I just skip here, I mean, it's April, right? I shouldn't. Would I be able to get more out of being able to construct a few planets? Or would I be better served waiting so we can get stable jumps? That's the problem, right? If I got stable jumps now, we wouldn't be able to do some things. I think that's better served waiting, actually, as crazy as that sounds. So we could skip the rest of this whole year and end up with a total of 8 stable jumps. And, you know, 8 stable jumps should be able to get us all of these done, right? So we could do one over here, getting us, you know, 2 of those. I already saw that. We can get one here, getting us the Bakar task complete. Now all we need is an additional ocean planet, which I saw one we could do. Right? Right? This one? I mean, those are really good, but it's just like... hold on. Right, there you go. I'll decline the rest of it, though. We've seen enough. Okay, so we only have 41 more money. So one good thing we could try, since, you know, this is very likely to give us some money, is to just do that. And then be sad because we didn't get any. Okay. Well, that's just sad, isn't it? Alright, well, then we got one more connection we can do. I mean, still, right? Yeah, we created a massive unemployment problem. I'm very much aware of that. We can make energy go into energy. Does that even give us money? It doesn't even do that. Why does that not make any money? I have no clue. It's kind of weird how that works. I could still fall. I guess because energy into energy has been nerfed, right? I mean, I've got a good reason for that. So if I give you an output, do you just become prosperous and just at the end of it? I mean, that's not bad, right? We got a bunch of successfuls and prosperouses. We have no struggling plants anymore, but we have 12% pass shortages and 9% unemployment. So that sort of makes this empire suffer a bit. Yeah, all the unemployment, right? It needed a few more years, but more than that, it needed some kind of better income. Perhaps we should have taken geo-harvesting earlier, right, instead of gene adjustment. Or, you know, later on, right, so we could have geo-harvested some plants and gotten some more value. right? When we had this option here, but that would have delayed our replicating nanites. Although, you know, I don't think we got really much value out of them at all. We did get some cheaper planets, right? Founding, so, you know, we saved some money with it, but yeah, I mean, you know, it would have been much better had we gotten some money out of any of the forebear ruins, right? We got like 1 or 2 money ruins, but should have gotten more, right? We got a bunch of ruins like these, and you know, they're fine, but they're not that useful this late in the game. So yeah, that's it, I think. Let's have a look at how well we did. There's a bit of an paralysis run. We only got 18,000 out of this. It doesn't really surprise me that the score isn't really that good. We still got quite a bit though. Not as much as I'd hoped. I thought we could probably do 30,000 this run, but that was maybe a bit ambitious, right? So yeah, we start out with the quantum sensors. I think that was the right choice. I think we should have taken perhaps the xenotourism this time. I just couldn't find really any good place for it, right? Like it would have definitely helped us, I think. Like we had the resources, right? In the end. The thing with xenotourism is you need a good place for it early. Gene adjustment was a pretty brilliant move. But that's the thing with tough, right? You always feel like you're short on some money. Also, you know, the fact that we had that 60 starting cash, but we didn't really have anything that helped us gain any cash advantage, right? We couldn't really make much use out of our perks, really, because you know we got something 1 attack early, and that's about it. What we did with our perks. So yeah, after hyperdrive, it was what? Energy-driven industry into Starbirth. It is energy-driven industry anyway. And it's apparently over here. Yeah, it's a tier 2 tech. It's kind of weird that you can get that after Starbirth if you wanted to, but you can. Right. Nanites didn't really work out because we didn't really have the money to make good use out of them. Reactions drive into plasma containment. I don't even know where reactionist drive is. Did we? We did take it at some point. Did we ever take plasma containment? No, we did at some point. So it's like the second time I picked that. Yeah, we rarely pick that tech. So we didn't do teleporters, right? Even though they were available. Yeah, they could have been good, but the thing was that we didn't really have a good Euphorian mission, right? If I had the Euphorian mission, I would have probably taken teleporters over hyper jumps. It would have been an entirely different type of run, right? Teleporters are more expensive, but you have less upkeep, right? The hypership upkeep is also, you know, how significant was it near the end? How much did we pay in hypership upkeep? 42, right? Yeah, I mean, not paying that for, you know, about 5 years, right? It would have saved us 200 money. How many hyper things do we have? Like 20? Yeah, I think that, you know, teleporters might have been better suited. They're 30 instead of 20. The bigger range, the less tech in the end. But it just ended up being the case that, you know, we ended up with like this amazing possibility of completing missions if we got a hyperdrive early. While teleporters would have cost us another year or had us, you know, go on to additional size. So it just didn't really match up all that well. I think maybe taking a break for now. We'll be back up with a second run today. And this one was certainly a challenge. It was an interesting one nonetheless. Alright, GG.